American pickers star Frank Fritz's antique business in Savannah, Illinois has been selling a variety of eerie items, including Victorian dolls and clown heads. Frank Fritz Finds is a store that sells a variety of items, including vintage signage and antique furniture. Frank Fritz is 60 years old. Photos that were obtained exclusively by the United States Sun expose the disturbing items that Frank is peddling to clients. A vintage doll that has cracks along the face and arms is being offered for sale by Frank for a price of $115. Other vintage dolls, which are strewn about on a shelf, can be purchased for anywhere between $28 and $65. In addition to that, Frank is selling a baby doll for an astounding sum of $1,500. In another picture, there is a pair of vintage infant shoes that cost $22 and appear to be stained with filth or dust. In addition, there is a clown head on the shelf that does not have a price tag attached to it. DFITULTIE is in the store. In the past few years, Frank Fritz Finds has been experiencing a great deal of difficulty, as evidenced by the fact that the United States Sun published photographs of the store's deplorable conditions in November. The glass display case appeared to be stained in one of the photographs, which made it impossible to discern the antiques that were contained within. In another picture, the corners of the business were covered in thick cobwebs that could be seen. On some of the antiques, there were even cobwebs. Dust was everywhere in the store, including on the shelves and on the antiques. The conditions were comparable to photographs that were collected exclusively by the United States Sun in the month of August. Cobwebs were observed on an antique mannequin as well as on the windowsills. Respawnes DHAs unfavorable. Customers have expressed their dissatisfaction with the store's circumstances in recent evaluations. A consumer wrote the following comment on Google Reviews: "Nice people, but in all honesty, it was almost like seeing things that were left in an attic. If I were to go out and explore the surrounding area, it would not be my first option. Could use more lights," a second person stated in reference to the gloomy illumination. "I am utterly dissatisfied," wrote a third person. "It is not worth the effort to stop." On the other hand, Frank Fritz Finds did make some enhancements to the exterior of the store. Photos of the new, contemporary windows were initially published by the United States Sun in August, when the building was still undergoing construction on the exterior. Annual marketing transactions. In a previous article, the United States Sun discussed the annual sales of Frank Fritz Finds. According to the business valuation report that Experian has prepared for Frank Fritz Finds, the expected yearly sales are only $25,000 at this time. The business credit score of the company is 27, which indicates that it is considered to be of medium risk. In terms of the financial stability risk ratings, the store was given a rating of 4 out of 5, which indicates that it is a medium-high risk. This, according to the research, indicates that there is a 10% potential risk of severe financial distress within the next 12 months. The conservatorship of Frank. Since he suffered a stroke in July of 2022, Frank has not been as interested in the business as he once was. On the 18th of August, his close friends submitted a request for an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the celebrity, stating that his decision-making capacity is so impaired. Plans to renovate the business were disclosed in the conservatorship documents that were obtained exclusively by the United States Sun. In the initial plan that was submitted by the conservator Midwestone Bank, it was stated that Mr. Fritz is a well-known collector and has numerous outbuildings full of valuable collections. The conservator has not yet conducted an inventory of those things. Nevertheless, they intend to leave them in a significant portion of their current state, with the exception of refilling Mr. Fritz's antique store in Savannah, Illinois, as required. The conservator is hopeful that Frank will be able to participate in the selection and pricing of items, just as he did in the past. Following the stroke that rendered the right half of his body paralyzed, Frank is now able to walk again, according to a source who previously spoke to the United States about it. Due to the fact that he had to take time off to recover from back surgery that left him with 185 stitches and 2 rods in his spine, Frank did not make his most recent appearance on American Pickers until an episode that aired in March of 2020. In the year 2021, his co-star Mike Wolfe made the announcement that Frank would no longer be appearing on the show. A feud between Frank and his co-star Mike was brought to light during an interview with the United States Sun in the year 2021. The two got back together over the Memorial Day weekend, and they are still friends today. The United States Sun was told by a source that everything between them is fine. For the past 4 decades, they have been acquainted with one another. Both of them attended the same high school, and they have participated in all of these activities together. According to The Insider, Mike has paid Frank a few visits since he suffered the stroke, and the two of them have also been calling and texting each other today. What is the return of Frank? It was originally stated by the United States Sun that Frank is unable to return to the show. According to a source close to Frank, who spoke to the United States Sun, the stroke affected his speech, so he really can't return to the show. However, you never know. There is always hope that one day will come. He can't come back and film, but the cast and show want him to, said a second insider who spoke to the United States Sun. On the 27th of December, the launch of season 25 included Mike, his brother Robbie, long-standing performer Danielle Colby, and Jersey John.